Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to reports in Spain, Manchester United will look to sell Harry Maguire and Aaron Bissaka in the summer transfer window. I don't think they're good enough to represent the club. Harry Maguire has been poor this season. There again, Maguire did alright against West Ham recently. Maguire had an injury not so long ago. Revert back to earlier on this season, he had a calf injury, and towards the end of last season he had ligament damage in his ankle. Harry Maguire has been at Manchester United for over 2 years. He certainly wasn't worth the 80 million that Manchester United paid for him. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Earlier on this season, Harry Maguire spoke out. He came out and said that he's sick of Manchester United's poor form. And he also said that the Man United players were letting the fans down, and he also said that Rangnick was not all to blame for Man United's poor performances. So I agreed with what he said on that aspect. As for Aaron Bissaka, he's no longer our first choice right back. Diego Dalot is our first choice right back under Rangnick. Aaron Bissaka, the attacking side of his game lets him down. His positioning isn't that good either, and I think his crossing needs to improve a bit more. Defensively, most of the time though, he's good. This season is Aaron Bissaka's third full season at Man United. Manchester United got Bissaka from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Got him for £50 million. Bissaka is not available at the moment because he's out with COVID. Like I say, Manchester United are going to offload quite a lot of players this year. Will Manchester United make a signing in this January transfer window? It's not long now until the January transfer window shuts. I think it's just over a week until the January transfer window shuts. Manchester United have been linked with a lot of players. Now recently I gave you the news on Ousmane Dembele. Reports in France said that Barcelona are willing to sell Ousmane Dembele for just 17 million. It mentioned that Manchester United are prepared to sign Ousmane Dembele this month, but only on a free transfer. Dembele insists he will not be blackmailed by Barcelona, and he's been told to leave Barcelona. Earlier on this season, there was rumours of a possible swap deal involving Dembele and Martial. Dembele's contract at Barcelona expires this year. He's been at Barcelona since 2017. Barcelona got him from Borussia Dortmund. They got him for £135 million with add-ons included. I don't want Dembele at Manchester United. The reason is because he's too injury prone. Man United have also been linked with Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig. Now, Sky Sports Germany said the other day that RB Leipzig could sell Manchester United and Newcastle target Amadou Haidara for 46 million in this January transfer window. Obviously, Leipzig will find it hard to turn down an offer of 46 million. Reports have said that Rangnick has verbally agreed a 33 million fee to sign Amadou Haidara. Ralf Rangnick did hold talks with RB Leipzig chiefs. Amadou Haidara's release clause is 33 million. He's been at Leipzig since 2019, so he's been with them over 2 years and he's under contract with Leipzig until 2025. He's a midfielder and is the age of 23. Rangnick knows the player well, which is beneficial. Earlier on this season, Rangnick did mention that he wanted Amadou Haidara as his first signing as Man United manager. He supports Manchester United, does Haidara. Manchester United have been relentlessly linked with Dennis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Was it the other week, the Telegraph said that Manchester United target Aston Villa midfielder John McGinn in the summer transfer window. John McGinn is valued at 40 million. Alex Ferguson and Darren Fletcher are admirers of the player. And a couple of weeks ago, it said that Manchester United were interested in Tariq Lamptey from Brighton. I think Man United had tried to sign a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Now, Manchester United recently beat West Ham 1-0 at Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford scored the winner in the 93rd minute of stoppage time. Rashford moved Manchester United into the top 4. Marcus Rashford, of course, came off the bench against West Ham. He didn't start against West Ham. Rashford also came off the bench and scored in the 3-1 win against Brentford. Obviously, reflecting on that, he ended his 3-month goal drought. So Rashford has scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. So it is good that he's found some form, because obviously Rashford has endured a lot of poor games since he had that operation on his shoulder. And a lot of United fans have said that Rashford hasn't been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. Not so long ago, he had a minor leg injury. Ralf Rangnick did say that Marcus Rashford is one of the top strikers in England. Now, on my last video, I gave you the news on Ralf Rangnick. He said Ralf Rangnick will receive a 500,000 bonus if he leads Manchester United to a top 4 finish. Rangnick earns £180,000 a week. Rangnick has managed 10 games so far as Manchester United manager. Rangnick has only lost 1 game so far as Man United manager. Manchester United lost to Wolves earlier on this season, 1-0 at Old Trafford. That was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. But reflecting on the win against West Ham, that was the first time Man United had won back-to-back games under Rangnick. I presume some pressure has eased off Rangnick now, because revert back to earlier on this season, it said that Rangnick, was under pressure, and it said, Rangnick is losing the dressing room, and, 17 Manchester United players, were unhappy with Rangnick and wanted to leave. But despite that, earlier on this month, Rangnick got told that transfer funds are available for him this month. So reflecting on that, he said he will be backed by the Glazers. So Rangnick is Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did initially say he will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. If Man United finish in the top 4, there is a chance that he'll get the consultancy role. If he wins a trophy at Man United and he gets us a top 4 finish, do you think there's a chance he could get the Man United job on a permanent basis? Prior to the Brentford game, Rangnick announced Manchester United's new formation, and it's the 4-3-3 formation. That formation seems to suit our standards. Of course, Rangnick scrapped the 4-2-2 formation because obviously that formation wasn't working. Credit Rangnick though, he has made changes since he's come in. Because obviously earlier on this season he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armas in as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Chalens in as a sports psychologist. So yeah, he brought 3 additions in. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Rangnick has said that he wants Erik ten Hag as Manchester United's manager in the summer. Well, there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, he's won a couple of titles with Ajax. Back in 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. And I like the way he develops young players. Erik ten Hag has been Ajax manager since 2017, so he's been their manager for 5 years. He's got a contract with Ajax till 2023. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves. And before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Well, prior to the Brentford game, it said Man United could yet appoint their new manager this season. Mauricio Pochettino has been relentlessly linked with a managerial role at Man United, and not so long ago it said that Manchester United made an offer for Diego Simeone from Atletico Madrid. The other week, reports from Italy said that Man United made an approach for Simone Inzaghi. Manchester United are looking for their 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. We won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did win 3 trophies in his first season, so he did enjoy one good season at Man United. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Solskjaer's final game in charge of Man United was the 4-1 defeat to Watford. When Solskjaer officially got sacked, if you do remember rightly, he gave a farewell interview and he got emotional in that farewell interview, which obviously was understandable because obviously Solskjaer was part of the club for a long time and obviously he's a club legend and he always will be a club legend. That's what got mentioned on the statement when he officially got sacked. I don't think Manchester United really wanted to sack Solskjaer, but in the end, they had no choice but to sack Solskjaer. Revert back to the last few months of Solskjaer's managerial tenure. You know, the performances were really bad, and the results were really bad to go with the bad performances. But reflecting on that, not all of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer. There was also players that had to take responsibility as well. Manchester United paid off Solskjaer around £7.5 million. Revert back to last summer, Solskjaer signed a contract with Man United until 2024. We made a mistake giving him that contract because we knew for a long time that he wasn't the long-term manager for Man United. Solskjaer obviously didn't win a trophy as Man United manager, and I said he wasn't capable of winning trophies as a manager. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer, of course, has no proven pedigree as a manager. The clubs he's managed so far in his managerial career, he managed Manchester United's reserves for a couple of years, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. He obviously managed Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. He endured 2 spells at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles in that at Molde, but they're not a big club, and obviously managed Manchester United's senior squad. Solskjaer, of course, had a proven pedigree when he was a player, because when Solskjaer was a Man United player, he won a lot of trophies. His most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final at the Nou Camp back in 1999. Solskjaer won the club the treble, and the treble is the club's greatest achievement. Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Man United, certainly flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. I did say though, didn't I, at the start of this season when Solskjaer was United manager, I said, this season was going to be massive for him. He had big expectations to exceed, and the expectations were far too high for him to exceed, and the pressure was on him at the start of this season, because revert back to last summer, Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings last summer. 3 of the 4 signings were major signings, and we spent around £141 million. Not only that, revert back to last summer when Solskjaer was United manager, he received very good backing from the board. Obviously, Ed Woodward backed him. Woodward is stepping down at Manchester United at the end of this month. Woodward's had like a 17-year association with the club. Woodward's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Revert back to April last year, it got announced Woodward was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation. Richard Arnold will become Man United's chief executive on the 1st of February to replace Ed Woodward. Of course, the Glazers backed Solskjaer as well last summer. The Glazers have been at Manchester United for around 16 and a half years now. The Glazers bought the club for £500 million back in 2005. Revert back to April last year, Manchester United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and at Old Trafford, because obviously they were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And John Murtough backed Solskjaer last summer, and so too did Darren Fletcher. Solskjaer did get appointed in December 2018 as the interim manager. He came in and replaced Mourinho. Solskjaer was the interim manager for 3 months. He did very well as the interim manager, so the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. Solskjaer did sign 14 players when he was Manchester United manager. Manchester United spent over £400 million under Solskjaer. Solskjaer must have endured like 5 transfer windows. Let me put into the equation as well, Solskjaer got rid of a lot of players when he was Man United manager. He let a lot of players go permanently, but he loaned players out as well. Players he let go permanently, obviously, he did release Sergio Romero. He also offloaded Joel Pereira. He offloaded was it James Wilson and Borthwick Jackson. He also offloaded Ashley Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian, let Fellaini go back in January 2019. He offloaded Angel Gomez as well. He offloaded Herrera. He offloaded Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez. And I can't remember all the players that Ollie did loan out. In his first full season, Solskjaer, don't forget he got Man United to 3 semi-finals and got us a third place finish. And obviously in his second full season, he got us to the Carabao Cup semi-final, got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, and last season got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final when he was Man United manager. Last season got us a second place finish. And don't forget when Manchester United had Solskjaer, Manchester United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. And I like the way Solskjaer developed the youth when he was United manager. But obviously Solskjaer did know when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job. Not only that, a difficult job as well. Despite him knowing the club through thick and thin, because Ollie was managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. After the international break, Manchester United play Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 4th round. It is at Old Trafford. Manchester United progressed to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Aston Villa in the 3rd round 1-0. Middlesbrough got to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Mansfield in the 3rd round. The last time Manchester United played Middlesbrough was back in March 2017 and Manchester United won 3-1. Middlesbrough, of course, are in the Championship. Obviously, their manager is Chris Wilder. Middlesbrough appointed Chris Wilder in last year to replace Neil Warnock. Obviously, Neil Warnock, I think, got sacked from Middlesbrough last year. Chris Wilder, before he was at Middlesbrough, he was at Sheffield United. Before then, he was at Northampton. Before then, was at Oxford. Before then, Halifax. And before then, Alfred Town. I think at one point Chris Wilder was an assistant at Bury. I do know some of the players that Middlesbrough have got. Obviously they have got Joshua Coburn, he's a forward. They've got Isaiah Jones, I think he's also a forward as well. They've got Aaron Connolly. They've got Riley McGree. Johnny Howson, they've got him. They've got Marcus Brown, he's been out with injury. They've got Mark Boller, I think he's out with injury. So they are a few of the players that Middlesbrough do have. Manchester United though should be getting to the 5th round of the FA Cup quite easily. We are missing some players at the moment. Obviously Lindelof and Jadon Sancho are not available at the moment due to personal reasons. Jadon Sancho I think's missed Man United's last 2 games, is it? Paul Pogba's out, but he's returning after the international break, which is good news from a Man United perspective. Bissaka's not available at the moment due to COVID. Luke Shaw obviously is out. He recently picked up an injury. Eric Bailly, of course, he's not available at the moment because he's at the African Cup of Nations. Well, Eric Bailly doesn't really get in the team anyway. So there you go. Obviously, you know the news on Cristiano Ronaldo. As you all know, Ronaldo's just recovered from a neck injury. Ronaldo obviously did play against West Ham. I thought he played very well against West Ham, played a part in Rashford's winning goal, and he could have won a penalty in that first half. Cristiano Ronaldo obviously started in the 3-1 win against Brentford, but he got taken off in the game, and reflecting on that, Ronaldo was furious that he was substituted against Brentford. But Ralph Rangnick defended his decision to substitute Ronaldo against Brentford. The other week, Cristiano Ronaldo gave an interview, didn't he? And he was critical of the youngsters, so reflecting on that, he's demanding more from the youngsters. And, Ronaldo's also backing Rangnick to do a good job at Man United. And Ronaldo also said, I'm not a Man United to compete for 6 or 7. Finishing below 3rd is unacceptable. He recently said that Ronaldo faces a 25% pay cut should Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League. Well, it's mentioned that Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer if they fail to qualify for the Champions League. So there you go. Manchester United's next league game is Burnley. That's the 8th of February. But like I say, players are going to depart the club this year. So I think Martial will leave. I think Cavani will leave. He'll probably leave in the summer. Because earlier on this season, Ralph Rangnick revealed that Edinson Cavani won't stay at Man United until the end of the season. Mata will leave as well this year. Man United are going to loan Amad Diallo out. Lingard's going to leave as well. Van der Beek will leave. Matic will leave. Pogba will probably leave in the summer. Jones and Bailly will leave as well this year. Do you think Telles could leave? And obviously Man United are looking to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.